It takes no more effort to think big than it does to think small. And Napoleon Hill let that truth sink in for a moment. Because in a world where most people are taught to survive, few dare to imagine they could soar. Why is it that we spend the same energy worrying about limits when we could be designing legacies? Picture a mighty eagle slicing through the open skies, fearless, expansive, destined for altitudes unknown. Now picture a sparrow trembling in the shadows, flapping anxiously, never realizing it was born with the same gift of flight. Both breathe the same air. Both carry wings. But only one believes the sky belongs to it. This is the tragedy of small thinking. It shrinks a world before life ever has a chance to test our wings. We choose what's safe. We take the job that feels predictable. We silence the wild idea that kept us awake last night. And all the while, our potential sits quietly in the corner, waiting for permission to be set on fire. Two people stand before the same mountain. One sees a wall, the other sees a window. What changed? Not the mountain, just the mindset. You see, it costs nothing more to dream of greatness than to settle for mediocrity. The price is paid in belief. Yet most people will spend a lifetime budgeting their ambition, as if dreaming big was some dangerous gamble. But let me tell you, playing it small doesn't save you from pain. It just trades purpose for quiet disappointment. There's a voice inside you that whispers of impossible things. That voice is not foolish. It's your soul remembering its size. You weren't born for a life of caution. You were born to break molds, shift atmospheres, and build something that outlives you. So why keep dreaming in inches when your heart was wired for miles? Why keep fitting into boxes when you were clearly shaped for flight? The fear of failure. It's an illusion. Because failure from boldness builds character, while failure from fear leaves you empty. If you're going to pour your energy into anything, let it be a vision that makes you come alive. Think big, not because it's trendy, but because your life is too precious to play Esma. True success, as Hill taught, begins with expanding our mental horizons. It's not about working harder, but thinking bolder. While small thinking feels like a safe harbor, it robs us of the momentum that bold visions bring, locking doors to innovation and fulfillment. Adopting a big thinking approach requires no extra energy. It simply unlocks the abundance waiting just beyond our self-imposed limits. Now, let's explore why so many of us remain grounded in small thinking, waiting endlessly for the perfect moment to spread our wings. We often fall into the trap of waiting for motivation, believing we must feel fully inspired before envisioning grand goals. This misconception keeps us small, as we delay expanding our mental scope until conditions are just right: more education, more resources, more confidence. From Hill's works, we see how people prioritize comfort over ambition, letting opportunities slip away like sand through fingers. Indecisiveness chains us further, anchoring us in hesitation when we recognize glimmers of growth on the horizon. For instance, someone might dream of starting a business but settles for minor job advancements, fearing the unknowns that come with bold leaps. This failure to decide turns potential into paralysis, leaving us to watch life pass by in incremental, unsatisfying steps. Fear and uncertainty amplify this cycle, with self-doubt whispering that our ideas are too big, our risks too great. As Hill pointed out, fear is a mental barrier. Worrying about rejection might lead us to aim for a simple promotion instead of envisioning industry leadership. Yet, this fear is often exaggerated. Thinking big doesn't demand more effort, just a gentle shift in perspective, like turning a key in a locked door. The solution lies in immediate action on big thinking, where envisioning expansive goals ignites a fire within us. Once you start picturing a global enterprise instead of a local one, it generates energy and clarity, transforming abstract dreams into tangible plans. Hill's principle reminds us that thoughts are things, they hold power, and acting on them creates momentum without added strain. For example, visualize succeeding in a new venture, and watch as that vision turns into steps you can take right now. Building decisiveness is key. Make firm choices to embrace big thinking, like committing to daily affirmations that stretch your ambitions. Drawing from Hill's teachings, decide today to aim for a 10x increase in your goals. breaking free from the cycle of small steps. Start with practicing that first step. Jot down one audacious goal immediately, for it requires no more effort than writing a shopping list. This simple act sets the stage for exponential growth, proving that big thinking begins with a single, effortless choice. To overcome hesitation and fear, we must face them head-on, challenging the roots of our small thinking. Actively confronting doubts, as Hill advised, erodes fear more than passive reflection ever could. Visualize your worst-case scenarios and realize they're manageable, allowing big thinking to flourish like a seed breaking through soil. For someone afraid of financial risk, starting by envisioning bold investments can reduce anxiety, turning fear into fuel. Learning through failure is another vital lesson. Setbacks aren't defeats, but stepping stones on the path to greatness. Hill advocated reframing failure as a teacher. A failed business attempt builds resilience, inspiring even larger visions ahead. In the realm of big thinking, every stumble becomes an opportunity, requiring only a positive mindset to transform pain into progress. Cultivating self-discipline is the true key to sustaining this shift, for it's not fleeting motivation, but steady habits that propel us forward. Aligning with Hill's philosophy, consistent routines like daily visualization build the mental muscle for ambition without overwhelming effort. Contrast this with small thinking, which relies on temporary emotions and leads to inconsistency, like a flame that flickers and dies. Building positive habits supports big thinking. Set aside time each morning for goal reflection, tracking progress toward your grandest targets. Surround yourself with inspiring influences, as Hill's mastermind concept suggests, where collaboration amplifies ideas through disciplined routines. These habits don't demand more energy than your daily routine. They simply redirect it toward visions that elevate your life. Developing a clear vision and goals acts as a compass, guiding your energy toward achievement with unwavering focus. Hill emphasized the definiteness of purpose. Defining a goal to impact millions rather than just yourself creates sustained motivation. When your goals are crystal clear and expansive, they pull you forward, turning ordinary days into steps toward the extraordinary. Practical methods make this achievable. Use Hill's techniques to write out detailed plans for your big ideas. Start with a broad vision, like revolutionizing an industry, and break it into smaller steps, ensuring continuous movement without extra strain. This process is as effortless as planning a routine day, yet it harnesses your potential into a force for real change. Remember, the effort of thinking big lies not in the act itself, but in the rewards it unlocks: wealth, innovation, and personal fulfillment. As we near the end, let's reaffirm Hill's core idea. Motivation and success follow big thinking, not the other way around. It requires no preceding effort or perfect conditions, just a mental shift that turns ordinary lives into extraordinary journeys. Think of it as planting a seed in fertile soil. The same care yields a mighty tree instead of a wilted flower. By embracing big thinking, you're not adding burdens. You're lightening your load, freeing yourself from the chains of limitation. This philosophy has transformed countless lives, proving that the mind's expanse is limitless when we dare to explore it. Now it's your turn. Don't let another day slip by in the shadow of small dreams. Urge yourself to act now by adopting one big thinking habit today, such as redefining a current goal to reach higher. Start small, but think fast. Write that ambitious plan, make that bold decision, and feel the energy surge within you. As Hill would say, the world doesn't expand for us. We must expand our minds first. Imagine waking tomorrow with a vision that sets your soul on fire, propelling you toward heights you once only whispered about. This is the power of thinking big, effortless in its inception, monumental in its impact. Let go of the fears that have held you back, and step into the light of possibility. Your potential is a vast ocean, waiting for you to dive in with the same ease as a simple breath. Remember, every great achievement began as a thought, no more taxing than the ones that keep you small. Choose to soar like the eagle, not flutter like the sparrow. Your future depends on it. In this moment, commit to one change that echoes Hill's wisdom, and watch as doors swing open. The effort is the same, but the destination is worlds apart. Feel the emotion rising within you, the quiet excitement of knowing you're capable of more. Don't wait for the perfect day. Make today the day you think big. Your life, your dreams, they deserve the vastness of the sky, not the confines of a cage. As you reflect on these words, let them stir your heart and ignite your resolve. Take that first step now, and embrace the effortless power of grand visions. In thinking big, you don't just change your life, you transform it into a legacy of inspiration and achievement. Napoleon Hill once said, "It takes no more effort to think big than it does to think small." Imagine two paths, one leading to a modest life of comfort, the other to extraordinary achievement. Why do we so often choose the first when the second demands no extra energy? This common trap of small thinking limits our aspirations due to ingrained habits and self-doubt. For instance, someone might dream of a stable job, but never pursue a groundbreaking career. This leads to feelings of stagnation and regret, as unfulfilled potential festers within. Societal pressures often reinforce this cycle, whispering that playing it safe is wiser. Yet, we know deep down that we're capable of so much more. True success stems from expanding our mental horizons, where action begins with mindset. Thinking small feels safe, but it robs us of momentum and opportunities for growth. As Hill taught, adopting a big thinking approach requires no additional effort. It unlocks doors to innovation, wealth, and personal fulfillment that small thinking conceals. Now, let's explore why you're not thinking big and how to change that. One major reason is waiting for motivation to strike before envisioning grand goals. People often believe they need to feel fully inspired or ready, delaying their ambitions. This leads to small thinking, where perfect conditions like more education or resources are prioritized. For example, someone might postpone dreaming of a global business until they have more savings. As Hill noted, this habit keeps us stuck in comfort, missing out on bold visions. Indecisiveness is another barrier, anchoring us in small thinking despite recognizing opportunities. A person might hesitate to think big about starting a business, fearing the unknowns. Instead, they settle for incremental job advancements, never taking transformative leaps. Fear and uncertainty amplify this, turning potential into paralysis. Self-doubt and anxiety about big ideas lead to underachievement and regret. Hill's concept reminds us that fear is just a mental barrier we can overcome. For instance, worrying about rejection might cause someone to aim for a minor promotion. Yet, this fear is often exaggerated, as thinking big doesn't demand more effort, just a shift. The solution lies in immediate action on big thinking to generate real momentum. Start by envisioning expansive goals, like building a global enterprise instead of a local one. This creates energy and clarity, turning abstract ideas into actionable plans. As Hill's principle states, thoughts are things, so bold visions spark progress effortlessly. Building decisiveness is key. Commit to daily affirmations or goal-setting exercises today. For example, decide to aim for a 10x increase in income rather than a modest raise. This breaks the cycle of small thinking and propels you forward. Practice taking the first step, like jotting down one audacious goal right now. Remember, this requires no more effort than your mundane daily tasks. Overcoming hesitation and fear is the next vital step in this journey. Actively challenging small thinking erodes fear more than passive reflection ever could. Hill's insights show that confronting doubts, like visualizing worst-case scenarios, makes them manageable. For someone afraid of financial risk, thinking big about investments reduces anxiety over time. Learning through failure turns setbacks into stepping stones for growth. As Hill advocated, failures teach resilience and encourage even larger visions. A failed business attempt, for example, builds the strength for future successes. Thinking big reframes these experiences as opportunities, not obstacles. Cultivating self-discipline is the true key to sustaining big thinking long-term. It's not about sporadic motivation, but consistent habits that build mental muscle. Align with Hill's philosophy by practicing daily visualization of grand goals. Contrast this with small thinking. which relies on fleeting emotions and leads to inconsistency. Building positive habits supports this. Set aside time each morning for goal reflection. Track progress toward ambitious targets and surround yourself with inspiring influences. Hill's mastermind concept suggests regular collaboration to amplify big ideas. Developing a clear vision and goals acts as a compass for your ambitions. Crystal clear, expansive goals direct your energy toward meaningful achievement. Hill emphasized the definiteness of purpose. Define a goal to impact millions, not just yourself. This creates sustained motivation and steady progress in your endeavors. Practical methods include writing out detailed plans, as Hill recommended. Start with a broad vision, like revolutionizing an industry, and break it into smaller steps. This process demands no more effort than planning a routine day, yet it transforms potential. In conclusion, as Napoleon Hill asserted, motivation and success follow big thinking. It does not require preceding effort or perfect conditions to make that mental shift. Envisioning grand possibilities is effortless yet transformative, turning ordinary lives extraordinary. So, don't wait, act now by adopting one big thinking habit today. Redefine a current goal to be more ambitious and watch the change unfold. Remember, the effort of thinking big propels you to heights you never imagined. Expand your mind first, and the world will follow suit. Take that first step, no matter how small, and embrace the power within. Your future of extraordinary achievement starts with this simple choice. Napoleon Hill once said, "It takes no more effort to think big than it does to think small." Imagine two paths, one leading to a modest life of comfort, the other to extraordinary achievement. Why do we so often choose the first when the second demands no extra energy? This common trap of small thinking limits our aspirations due to ingrained habits and self-doubt. For instance, someone might dream of a stable job, but never pursue a groundbreaking career. This leads to feelings of stagnation and regret, trapping us in a cycle of mediocrity. We know we're capable of more, yet we settle for less. True success stems from expanding our mental horizons, where action begins with mindset. Thinking small feels safe, but it robs us of momentum and opportunities. As Hill taught, adopting a big thinking approach requires no additional effort, but unlocks innovation and fulfillment. Now, let's explore why you're not thinking big. Many wait for motivation, believing they must feel fully inspired before envisioning grand goals. This misconception leads to small thinking, where people prioritize comfort over ambition. For example, someone might delay setting ambitious goals until they have more education or resources. Drawing from Hill's works, this waiting game keeps us stuck in mediocrity. Indecisiveness further anchors us in small thinking, even when opportunities arise. Take the case of someone hesitating to start a business, fearing the unknowns. Instead, they settle for incremental job advancements rather than transformative leaps. Fear and uncertainty amplify this problem, with self-doubt leading to underachievement. Hill's concept reminds us that fear is a mental barrier, like worrying about rejection and aiming for a minor promotion. Often, this fear is exaggerated, as thinking big simply requires a shift in perspective. The solution lies in immediate action on big thinking. By adopting a big thinking mindset right away, you generate real momentum. Envisioning expansive goals, like building a global enterprise, creates energy and clarity. As Hill's principle states, thoughts are things, turning abstract ideas into actionable plans. For practical examples, start by visualizing success in a new venture without added strain. Building decisiveness is key. Commit to daily affirmations or goal-setting exercises. Hill's teachings show that decisiveness breaks the cycle of small thinking. For instance, decide today to aim for a 10x increase in income rather than a modest raise. Practicing the first step is essential. Jot down one audacious goal right now. This initial step requires no more effort than mundane daily tasks, yet it sets the stage for exponential growth. To overcome hesitation and fear, actively challenge small thinking. Confronting doubts, as Hill advised, erodes fear more effectively than passive reflection. Visualize worst-case scenarios and realize they're manageable. For example, Someone afraid of financial risk might start thinking big about investments. Over time, this mental shift reduces anxiety and fosters big thinking. Learning through failure is another vital aspect. Setbacks are not defeats, but stepping stones, as Hill advocated. Reframe failure as a teacher. A failed business attempt builds resilience for larger visions. Thinking big turns failures into opportunities, requiring only a positive mindset. Now, let's focus on cultivating self-discipline. Self-discipline, not sporadic motivation, sustains big thinking. Aligning with Hill's philosophy, consistent habits build the mental muscle for ambition. Contrast this with small thinking, which relies on fleeting emotions and leads to inconsistency. Start by forming habits that support big thinking, like daily visualization of grand goals. Set aside time each morning for goal reflection and tracking progress toward ambitious targets. Surround yourself with inspiring influences, drawing from Hill's mastermind concept. Regular collaboration amplifies big ideas into reality through disciplined routines. Developing clear vision and goals is the next step. Crystal clear, expansive goals act as a compass for big thinking. Hill emphasized the definiteness of purpose. Define a goal to impact millions rather than just yourself. This creates sustained motivation and progress without overwhelming effort. Use practical methods to define and break down big goals, like writing out detailed plans. Start with a broad vision, such as revolutionizing an industry, and divide it into smaller steps. This process demands no more effort than planning a routine day, yet it transforms potential into power. Remember, as Hill asserted, motivation and success follow big thinking. It does not require preceding effort or perfect conditions. The mental shift to envisioning grand possibilities is effortless yet transformative. Turning ordinary lives into extraordinary ones starts with this change. Now it's time for a call to action. Urge yourself to act now by adopting one big thinking habit today. For example, redefine a current goal to be more ambitious right away. Don't wait for the world to expand. Expand your mind first. Take that first step, and watch as thinking big propels you to new heights. In closing, embrace the idea that big thinking is within your reach. It requires no more effort than small thinking, but the rewards are immeasurable. Let Hill's wisdom guide you toward a life of purpose and achievement. Remember, the choice is yours. Think big and unlock your true potential. Start today and see how far you can go. Napoleon Hill once said, "It takes no more effort to think big than it does to think small." Imagine two paths, one leading to a modest life of comfort, the other to extraordinary achievement. Why do we so often choose the first when the second demands no extra energy? This common trap of small thinking limits our aspirations due to ingrained habits and self-doubt. For instance, someone might dream of a stable job, but never pursue a groundbreaking career. This leads to feelings of stagnation and regret, trapping us in a cycle of mediocrity. We know we're capable of more, yet we settle for less. True success stems from expanding our mental horizons, where action begins with mindset. Thinking small feels safe, but it robs us of momentum and opportunities. As Hill taught, adopting a big thinking approach unlocks innovation and personal fulfillment. Now, let's explore why you're not thinking big. Many wait for motivation, believing they must feel fully inspired before envisioning grand goals. This misconception leads to small thinking, where people prioritize comfort over ambition. For example, someone might delay setting ambitious goals until they have more education or resources. In Hill's works, we see how this waiting game results in missed opportunities. Indecisiveness keeps people anchored in small thinking, even when growth is possible. Take the case of hesitating to start a business, fearing the unknowns. Instead, they settle for incremental job advancements rather than transformative leaps. Fear of failure and self-doubt amplify this hesitation. As Hill noted, fear is a mental barrier that exaggerates risks. Worrying about rejection might lead someone to aim for a minor promotion instead of industry leadership. Yet, this fear is often unfounded, as thinking big requires only a shift in perspective. The solution lies in immediate action on big thinking. By adopting a big thinking mindset right away, you generate real momentum. Envisioning expansive goals, like building a global enterprise, creates energy and clarity. As per Hill's principle, thoughts are things that turn into actionable plans. For example, visualizing success in a new venture can spark immediate progress without added strain. Building decisiveness is key to breaking free from small thinking. Commit to daily affirmations or goal-setting exercises to embrace ambition. Hill's teachings show that decisiveness leads to aiming for a 10x increase in income. Start by practicing the first step, like jotting down one audacious goal right now. This initial action requires no more effort than your daily routine, yet it sets the stage for growth. Now, overcoming hesitation and fear is essential. Actively challenging small thinking erodes fear more than passive reflection. Hill's insights teach us to confront doubts by visualizing worst-case scenarios. For instance, someone afraid of financial risk might think big about investments and realize it's manageable. Over time, this mental shift reduces anxiety and fosters big thinking. Learning through failure turns setbacks into stepping stones. As Hill advocated, failure is a teacher that builds resilience. A failed business attempt can encourage even larger future visions. Thinking big transforms failures into opportunities with just a positive mindset. Next, cultivating self-discipline is the true key to success. Self-discipline sustains big thinking far beyond sporadic motivation. Aligning with Hill's philosophy, consistent habits like daily visualization build mental strength. Contrast this with small thinking, which relies on fleeting emotions and leads to inconsistency. Build positive habits to support your ambitions. Set aside time each morning for goal reflection and progress tracking. Surround yourself with inspiring influences as per Hill's mastermind concept. Regular collaboration amplifies big ideas through disciplined routines. Developing clear vision and goals acts as a compass for big thinking. Crystal clear, expansive goals direct your energy toward achievement. Hill emphasized the definiteness of purpose, like defining a goal to impact millions. This creates sustained motivation and progress in your endeavors. To define and break down big goals, use practical methods from Hill. Start with a broad vision, such as revolutionizing an industry, and divide it into smaller steps. This process demands no more effort than planning a routine day, yet it transforms potential into powerful action. Finally, let's reaffirm the core idea. As Napoleon Hill asserted, motivation and success follow big thinking. It does not require preceding effort or perfect conditions. The mental shift to envisioning grand possibilities is effortless yet transformative. This turns ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Remember, thinking big yields exponentially greater results. It's about expanding your mind to unlock doors to wealth and fulfillment. Don't let small thinking hold you back any longer. Take action today to break the cycle of mediocrity. Start by redefining a current goal to be more ambitious. Commit to one big thinking habit immediately. For example, write down your grandest dream and outline the first step. As Hill would say, thoughts backed by action create reality. Embrace the power of decisiveness to overcome fear. Build self-discipline through daily practices that align with your vision. Watch as this effortless shift propels you forward. The path to extraordinary achievement is within reach. It's no harder to dream big than to dream small. So, why not choose the path that leads to greatness? Take that first step now, and let your ambitions soar. In the end, the effort is the same, but the rewards are limitless. Expand your mind and transform your life today.